M's Republic by Peyton Wright, a finalist in the Jackie Demaline Regional Collegiate Playwright Competition. M's Republic explores, through the lessons of Plato's Republic, the life of high school student Mia, her boyfriend and classmates, and her teacher, and how the diversion of good intentions leads to their downfall. Reading the role of Mia is Victoria Hawley. Reading the role of ELEANOR is Zoe Rose Davidson. Reading the role of Oliver Taylor is Michael Gerard Carr. In this scene, based on Book 7 of Republic, Mr. Oliver Taylor teaches his students about the linear development of knowledge and enlightenment. The usual classroom setting. Oliver stands at the board. Nova is absent, but the other girls are seated at their desks.
We're skipping 4, 5, and 6. You all are grasping this really well, so I'm going to add Mill's utilitarianism to our required texts. I want to give us some time to really explore as much as we can. Can you let Nova know?
Yeah.
So, we're moving on to 7, which is my personal favorite. It strays from blatantly leading the reader to conclusions to allowing the reader to make their own interpretations first. It tells the story of the cave allegory, which is considered the most beautiful and famous metaphor in all of Western philosophy. So there are these people who have lived in a dark cave for their entire lives. Why does Socrates choose to tell this story?
He wants to show the importance of education and enlightenment in finding the form of the good.
And
It shows the process of how education moves a philosopher along a linear path.
precisely, these people have never seen the light of day, and they're bound in a certain way so that they can only look forward. What do they see?
Shadows on the wall. Behind them, there's a wall that's halfway up to the ceiling, a fire, and some statues. There are some creeps behind the wall that move the statues around. It's like an ancient projector or a puppet show.
Good. And because the shadows of the statues are the only things that these prisoners have experienced, they believe that all things in a supposed outside world are shadows too. They represent the first stage of education, which is...
Imagination.
But one day,
One of the prisoners breaks free.
what does he see?
He turns around and sees the fire and the wall. It hurts him to look at, but it's new. He's never seen anything else, and he can't look away.
He realizes there's really a world outside the cave,
He represents belief.
the next stage.
Beautiful work, ladies.
He writes on the board.
So, this prisoner, he drags himself out into the real world. What is the first thing he looks at?
The shadows.
Yes. Then he begins to notice the light, the colors, flowers, trees.
The next stage, thought.
Yes. Then he realizes why he can see all of these things. He sees the sun.
Understanding.
Yes.
He writes on the board again.
Imagination, belief, thought, and understanding. So, he sees the sun. He's overwhelmed by this new light. What does the sun represent?
The form of good.
Exactly. You guys are on a roll. What's the goal of this story?
To encourage people to push themselves as far out of the cave as possible.
But they should return every once in a while to rule over the cave.
And the cave represents what?
Ignorance.
Right. Education shouldn't be a shtick to force knowledge into the soul. It should be turning the soul towards the right desires. And everyone, once they conquer their ignorance, they should recognize that it was there.
What makes a desire right?
The school bell rings. ELEANOR begins to pack up.
I loved this book.
Yeah?
Have a good weekend, guys.
You too.
Bye, Eleanor. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it was refreshing to know. It's cheesy.
No, tell me more.
I'm going to sound stupid.
I seriously doubt that.
He pulls up a chair next to her and places his hand at the hem of her skirt.
Do you trust me?
She scoots her chair away.
It's nice to feel like that someone is telling me, that ancient philosophers are telling me that there's something beautiful outside the cave.
I know how you feel.
That seems to be the case most of the time.
I remember the first time I saw you.
Well, yeah, it was like a month ago.
It feels like years.
What?
You were hurting so bad. You were so scared. Your skirts were too big for the first couple of days. Well, you hadn't had time to alter them yet. But it seems like they fit you now.
Yeah.
I'm very drawn to you.
Oh,
I don't mean that in a weird way.
okay.
You're different. I've taught girls your age for years. I've never seen such a brain, so much maturity.
Thank you.
You've been through too much. You shouldn't have to fight anymore. You should be taken care of.
This is a lot, Mr. Taylor.
Oliver,
Uh,
when it's just us, you can call me Oliver. If you want to. That's my name.
Oliver.
He smiles. He grabs her hands.
I could take care of you.
I have to go.
She pulls away her hands.
I said too much.
No, it's just a lot.
In a good way?
I don't know.
She stands and begins to pack up.
Are you okay?
I will be. I just have to go.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
She heads for the door. He gently catches her hand, intertwining their fingers.
Mr.
Please.
Oliver.
He pulls their hands to his chest. She has one hand on the doorknob.
I would do anything to protect you, Mia.
He kisses her. She pulls away quickly. She stares, untangles her hand, and exits. Elated, Oliver returns to his desk and frantically writes in his journal.